dies.
Yeah, hey, his heart doesn't completely stop. He said Ahsoka says a lot. He's barely alive, which I don't really know how Ahsoka's able to deal with, like, to discern that by, like, sure.
That whole scene, I was dying.
It's
like it was so funny.
We just had to crush Momo real quick.
We just had I had a laugh about that. He like just pops in and saves the kid, and I was like, what? And then he gets crushed by the rock. And then I guess that they use that to get them to the spirit center. What's that called? The lake.
The garden.
The little pond, yeah.
Yeah, they that literally, it's only so that they can bring him.
It's only so they
because we need to be in there for the final stuff that's going on, which was a choice. That was the weirdest like fake out thing. I feel like death fake outs in shows and movies are always like pretty well like charted. Like you can kind of tell a lot of the time whenever someone dies, but they're not going to be dead. Obviously,
Momo.
Like, come on, they're not going to kill Momo. Like, whatever.
I had to pause the episode and it was like 3 a.m. and I was just cracking up. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. You know, I was entertained. I was entertained. Let's see what else. The monster was really cool. It was like a Godzilla movie. Yeah. Koizilla.
Yeah, the showrunner Albert Kimler, I was reading an interview with him where he was talking about a reason that they didn't do a lot of the things in season 1, like from the animated series into this, is because they knew they wanted to do Koizilla, so they knew that was going to be a big part of their budget. And so that's why they didn't do a lot of the other stuff, which, okay, but also you had a bigger budget than Game of Thrones, so let's not act like you didn't.
Wasn't I even do that?
But like, I understand. I like that they at least did. They were like, we're doing Koizilla, which is cool. Like he looked pretty epic. I can't lie.
It looked pretty awesome, and I love like the trebuchets throwing the. I don't know. I love trebuchets. I think that.
Big
battles are
That's
cool. Sick. Big battles are sick.
Like I as much as I like wasn't that big of a fan of the finale, like it's kind of hard to not be like, oh, big battles.
To be like, this is awesome.
like stuff go boom.
That was my my monkey brain. I was like, it's exploding. Cool.
Yeah, like big fire. Yeah.
That was the spoon-fed stupid person they were feeding in my brain.
Yeah, which we'll take it, I suppose.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
But a lot of things. Yue, great. Love her. Oh She's my God.
Wish they would have lit her better. Ember Mid-Thunder. She's amazing. And
get her a better lace front. My God. Those wigs were the wigs and all of it. Grand needs a new wig. Everybody needs a new wig.
It's crazy because the costume and makeup a lot of the time was like phenomenal. It was really, really well done, like 99% of the time. But that 1% was pretty glaring. People were making, I saw people talking about the M. Night Shyamalan wigs and how good they looked actually. I haven't seen those, so no frame of reference.
Good for you.
Thanks. I'm still just trying to. Maybe we'll do that as a bonus episode at some point.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Said that on air, so now we're committed. It's fine.
We're committed. It's out in the air.
Yeah. No, I think the costumes looked great for the most part. Though
costumes look
for the most part like
really solid, and I loved that they were colorful. And I had a friend post. They talked about how they were like, it doesn't look like these are worn. Like they're actually characters that wear these. They're not dirty. They're very clean. Which I agreed with. I got that.
I think
but also I did. I think it worked in this
and doesn't work partially. Yes. Like I think there's a really fine line there between like keeping it clean because you wear it all the time, and also this is a costume that just came off the movie set that we're like not wearing.
Yeah. We're just
so wearing. It's like they looked great though. I did like them a lot. But yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. What else did you like? Did you like anything else in the finale? Let's get that out of the way.
Anything else in the finale? Let's see.
Sorry.
Yue is great. She's cool. I did love the lion turtle reference because like Zhao gets the whole. Well, we got another random flashback to give us context for the thing for the like Deus Ex Machina that they need to introduce in the end of the episode, and so we get that like 45-second flashback or whatever of Zhao like researching lore essentially
Yes,
for the
yeah.
show, right? And he's like, all that's in here is just like lion turtle nonsense, which like I ate that up as a like
You're like, oh,
Korra
there it
diehard,
is.
and like I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like I love that. So that was really cool. I did enjoy the Zuko and Katara 1v1. I thought that was pretty sick to
Loved
see.
that.
Like that was dope. She whooped him, and it was cool.
Well, I
Like,
love
yeah,
when she beats his ass. But
That-
like,
that, like,
unfortunately, I'd like that they do that on the Spirit Pond, the little, what's the
Mhm.
name of that? Whatever. They do that fight there, and then that's when the Oasis.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It's great. They do that fight there, which I love. So I don't know why. I was a bit confused on why they had Zuko and Katara away from that and not skipping out on Zuko kidnapping Aang.
Yeah.
That was an interesting part. I
Mhm.
thought I did love Zhao and Iroh. That
Yes.
was kept in the original, like because Iroh is he becomes essentially like a protector of spirits. Like that's
Yeah.
what he becomes later in his life, and
hmm
I
Yeah.
like
I
that
mean,
they kept that in.
I like the 1v1. That was cool. I liked them. Yeah, that was a great fight. I liked the Master Katara line. Like that was a cool moment, and like her being
Mhm.
like, "I'm not," which is obviously she's not yet. But like that
Mhm.
whole that interaction, I did like Katara and her like standing up to the way that they've been doing things in the Northern Water Tribe, and her being like, "No, like we can do stuff, obviously," and like them learning from that, like that's good. And so
Mhm.
like seeing that was cool, and like all of the younger waterbenders being like, "Hey, we need help. Like we haven't been in a battle
Yeah.
before, so like
Yeah.
any advice would be nice." Like those are good moments, and that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty
it.
much it that I like really liked from it. The rest of my stuff is kind of like I don't really understand. I have one thing that I noticed about like halfway through the finale, and it's something that I should have noticed like beforehand because they got to the Northern Water Tribe before that. Why is none of their breath visible?
Oh my
No
God.
one, not a single. I mean, like I know why, because that's a lot of effort for like because they shot on a
That's
soundstage.
a lot of, yeah.
and like that's a lot of
It's
CGI.
all in front of a green screen, yeah.
But like as soon as I noticed it, I was like, oh no, I can't unthink this.
I didn't think
they're
about that at
supposed to
all.
be at the North Pole, and there's no breath from any of them, which sure.
I wonder if that's in the M. Night Shyamalan version. I got to be honest. I got to go
It's
back
a
and watch
small
that.
thing. Like
But
it's
that's an interesting detail. Yeah.
Like it's not a huge deal. It's not the end of
That
the,
if they're going for this hyper realism, they should have that in. That's
yeah. Like I was like, oh, like as soon as I saw that, and it was like the glass shattering in my brain, I was like, oh no,
you're like, oh, there is my suspension of disbelief, and goodbye.
I was like, oh no, that's not cool. I also did not really like the like hand, like I literally called it like a handoff type thing in my notes between I'm blanking on his name, is Han, correct? Between like Han and
Yes.
Sokka and Yue, Han being like, oh, it's cool if you date her now, like type thing.
The handoff.
I was
yeah.
like, really?
Oh, she's
we don't need to be doing that. Like,
one step forward, 3 steps back.
I'm like, we're in 2024 now. It's fine. Like she's a person.
She's not an object.
She has agency, but sure.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go for it. Yeah, so like that I didn't really love. And then can we talk about the lighting that they used for
I know you didn't like that I said this, but it looked like the movie 300.
Okay, that's no. I mean, like,
sorry.
I get it. It looked like the. I don't want to.
You know what I
It looked
mean?
like it was. I know. I get it because it does kind of have that feel, but it's just not executed well. I don't think.
Yeah.
Like it was just
like that works for the movie 300, but
like it was a super harsh, and I get the vibe they're going for, and like it works for like distinguishing that like obviously they're operating in a world that has significantly changed because the moon's gone now, and so like it's a really like quick shorthand signifier, but it did not look good.
The red filter,
super harsh red light that just like, why did we have to do that? Like I get it.
So lean into shadows, lean into shading. If you have a monochrome palette, you really rely heavily on your shades, and that's how you paint monochrome. That's why it works so well in the animation, because they focused on making it like something I know that they do in black and white is they'll put green lipstick on instead
Yeah.
of red because it looks
I mean,
better on
right.
camera.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the whole thing. Deep cut for WandaVision stuff. The entire reason, like
Yes.
they had
He's
super
blue, isn't
bright,
he?
yeah, they had super bright blue stuff for like all of the sets because that's how it picks up when you're filming in black and white, you know. And so I would be really curious to see the behind the scenes for how they did all of those sequences because I feel like they maybe didn't. I don't think
they changed anything.
Yeah, it feels
I
like
think they just
like,
put the red filter on without thinking.
Yeah, or like maybe they had the lights on set be that super. I don't know, but it just didn't translate well. I don't think it was just super jarring to me. I will say actually, this is a point in things that I did like. I thought Zhao was him being so over the top, and I'm gonna rule the world was pretty rad. I can't lie. I was like, I like this dude just being the most cartoon villain ever. Like just immediately, like he went from being like I need to impress Ozai and move up the ranks to I'm gonna destroy the moon.
I'm gonna destroy the moon.
World. Like that was
like okay, dude.
I
God forbid girls have hobbies.
I respect the hustle, I guess. It's sure, man. Like that's fine. Yeah,
but he kind of lost it at the end. Okay, his death. I wrote just kills him.
Yeah, and it's also that cut was weird.
That was weird.
Where it happened, it just happened, and I was like, oh okay,
it just happened. I was like, oh, but he falls into water, so he could have been okay.
Yeah. We didn't see no body.
No body. There was no body.
He could show up again, maybe. I feel like probably not though, because I feel like they did kind of lean into like making him the obviously overarching villain of the season.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty smart, actually, as far as if you're going to have a season villain, because you can't have it be Ozai, obviously.
Yeah.
And you have the problem of the fact that like Ozai is very present throughout the entire season, which he's not in the animated series.
He just kind of, doesn't he have a country to rule? He's just sitting in a room the whole time. I swear every time I see him in a room or he's outside just watching Azula, he's so present in Azula's life, which I find odd because I'm like a big reason that these kids are so traumatized and they're striving for their father's affection. They're just striving for his attention even. He's never around. He never even gives them, he's barely gives them attention. And in this, I was like, oh, does he just hang with Azula all day? Like, what does he do?
Like that, actually. Yeah. Now that you mention it, he's like, especially if you take into account her like introduction, she had to have like run her plan by him, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, and so like they're just like I picture them just like kicking back in one of the rooms, and he's like, oh, so like, what are you up to? Like this.
He's like, what's our evil plan today, daughter?
Yeah. Which is a choice. I think it's tough because I think on the one hand, it is smart to show the fact that he is obviously just pitting them against each other. But then you have what you mentioned earlier, the over explanation of Zhao's last 30 seconds, just being like, hey, Zuko, by the way, here's the entire season arc that you and Azula
here's everything that you learned.
And here's
that right back at it, you.
And here's the insert cuts to show the audience too, in case they forgot in the last.
In case they forgot. Yeah.
Which that's a choice. It's fine. It happened. I think the battle was cool. A lot of the character stuff around it, though, I just did not get. Also, Yue uses water bending when there's not supposed to be water bending.
Yes. Yes.
Which I did not notice at first, but our awesome producer Sean pointed it out when we were.
Thank you, Sean. Because that's insane.
The fact that I didn't notice that whenever I was watching, I can't believe. But yeah, she like uses water bending to freeze Sokka in place so she can go restore water bending to the world. Sure, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe she has. I guess you could explain that she has special powers because she like
is the moon.
Yeah, is water bending incarnate partially? I guess. Like, sure.
The line gets really sloppy there.
Yeah, I feel like that's a consistent thing where they kind of, it's such a weird dichotomy where they will over explain but then also leave other things very blurry and not explained, and it's just big question marks.
It's frustrating. It's sad because I want it to be good. Avatar, I want you to be good. I want to like you. I want you to do a good job. I'm here with you. I'll forgive you for your mistakes. But God Why do you make it so hard?
It's just the inconsistency just hurts.
It just hurts.
Yeah, I don't know. The finale was a mixed bag for sure.
It was a mixed bag.
Yeah, but I mean, speaking of the finale, they had a weird post-credit scene thing where it ends, and they had
also that was again the Marvelification of movies. That I was like, of course we have a fucking post-credit scene.
So it ends essentially, right? And then we get the Azula, like before the title card pops up, we get Azula and she's Kaku no Mashu, which is obviously teased for season 2. And then it ends, and it felt like a solid ending.
I was like, okay, cool.
And then it flashes the title card, and then we get no credits, and it cuts to another scene, which was a choice. And it's
I literally, before it ended, I said, watch there be a post-credit scene. And then I was like,
and then 2 seconds later, you got one.
I got one.
Yeah, and so we get Ozai learning about Sozin's comet is coming back around, obviously, because it's been 100 years. And so we get that and the tease for, what will lead into season 2.